All right, so in this lesson, we're going to take a look at configuring a Cisco 9120AX AP. This is going to be our survey AP, and to do this, we have to have a console cable or a console server, which I've got in the other room, to connect via serial to do the initial setup. Okay, now this has an embedded wireless LAN controller, so it is an access point, but it's a powerful one, and it's got enough memory and processor to run an actual controller inside the AP. So you could connect other APs to this controller that's running inside the AP and manage for smaller deployments. But these APs need that EWC functionality in order to basically work as a standalone device. Because I have my Wi-Fi survey kit here, and I'm going to connect it to its power source, but it needs to be able to advertise a network just with this AP without having to carry a controller around, because who wants to do that? It would take a lot more power, time, and energy. Technically, I am carrying a controller around though. It's inside the AP though. All right, so I'm going to connect that guy to power, and let's see what we got here. So I've got our console port open, and I've already set it to 9600 baud, 8 data bits, 1 stop bit, no parity, no flow control, all that kind of stuff that you should know from like a CCNA or Network Plus class. And this is Secure CRT, so it's a fantastic terminal tool that will allow us to do SSH, Telnet, and all those different types of RLogon and serial connections, you name it. So very powerful tool for a very antiquated technology. You know, it's funny because the main console cables I have now are USB. I didn't even remember I had this serial cable sitting around. All the new switches come with these USB cables for console, which is a little bit different. All right, so one of my colleagues actually set this up to work off a script. So the AP boots off a script and does all the setup, which was pretty cool. That's in a different video. All right, so still going through the boot up. And once we do get this guy booted up, basically, there's a couple things we're watching here is the AP come up, but then the code that can run the controller come up as well. So the MAC address of the AP is on the back, so that's something we definitely want to know. And we'll see that anyway here in just a minute once the guy gets fully booted and all that kind of good stuff. These EWC APs are pretty slick. The embedded wireless controller, we actually have a class, another micro course that's dedicated towards the EWC functionality, Cisco 9800 EWC. And it talks about the embedded wireless controller that you can put inside of your access switches and your APs. So for smaller deployments, previously that would have been autonomous, where you would have had 2, 3 APs at a site or even 10 APs at a site. Now, as long as the upstream or the aggregate traffic's not too excessive, you can have 10 APs connected back to one of the APs as a main controller, and it worked just fine. Then you get all the integration with your mobility groups, all the same functionality, full-fledged controller code running inside of an AP, which is pretty freaking cool. So hopefully we're almost there, and we should come up with a setup script. All right, so our AP is booted up. Would we like to initial the initial configuration dialog box? Now it says number of CPU cores, number of AP supported is 100. Default route without gateway if not point to point. And we'll do the initial configuration. Now, the cool thing is, you know at this point, whenever you see number of CPU cores 4 and number of AP supported 100, you know already that you're running an EWC mode on your AP. You don't have to do a conversion. Some APs that are not the EWC load by default, you've got to convert to this mode. So we know already it's in the right mode. The cool thing about this is I still manually set ours up, or I still want to customize our survey AP, but Cisco actually built in a survey mode. Okay. So if you see right here, it says site survey use case, right? Not waiting for DHP. So in a few minutes, we're going to get this wireless provisioning SSID. So I'm going to log into that from my smartphone here. We're going to look for that SSID. And you see Cisco Air Provision FB5C there. Actually, I'm going to pull that up on the screen for us. We're going to record that. We'll hit record, and then we'll look for this. So we've got our Cisco Air Provision FB5C, and the default password for that guy is Cisco 123. So it could take 10-15 minutes for this to come up, by the way, the first time. Okay. Let's see here. Make sure that's the right SSID we should be using. We've got the Air Provision SSID, and we've got this unconfigured. I don't remember. I haven't set this this auto provision before. I typically just go through the mode and put on an IP address, but I've heard about this AP survey mode that they're using now. So let's see if this works like we think it will. The unconfigured SSID. So let's see here. Oh, you know what? I did this wrong. Sorry. Let's go back. Because this survey mode, it is an Air Provision SSID. And that's the problem right now. We're not supposed to use this one. So we're going to forget that. Sorry about that. And the password on these is password. I thought it was Cisco 123. Okay. So again, this is a site survey mode for a quick setup of your controller. So once you get this in, we should be able to open up mywifi.cisco.com, accept the server certificate, and once we are there, then we can log in with the admin Cisco 123, and I recognize that page is our EWC page. Oh, Web UI and Cisco. All right, cool. So now we need to specify our country. Okay. We're going to put in our username, keep this very basic for now. We're going to do admin. We'll do Cisco 123. This is the web setup, right? So once that's done, we'll go ahead and add our survey SSID. So we're going to call this WT survey 5. Okay. All right. So once that's done, we'll just go ahead and do network type. We'll do guest. Let's see. Not the best. DOT survey 5, guest, sent, and then finish. And this could be a little bit more responsive doing this on your phone, but it's all good. Really, I mean, if you're out doing a survey, you're going to be doing it on your laptop or your tablet, right? And it is, at least it works. At least you can spin it around and get it right. So now we see that the wizard basically went through and did an initial setup on this. Okay. And now we'll see that new survey AP that we can connect to. Okay. So the survey mode with this, the only thing is we want to make sure that the power level is at a certain point and that the settings are where we want it. Okay. So, and there's just a couple commands we can use to do that. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Okay. And this mode was designed specifically to be easier to get a survey AP set up and going. Okay, so we're going to let that come back and connect again, and then we'll be good to go. So admin, Cisco 123. All right. And should be able to see our survey AP now. So probably should have let that go a little bit longer, but it's all good. Come over here to our settings. And we see our WT Survey 5 SSID right there. So that wasn't there before the tool went in and set that up for us. As our initial survey survey SSID, right? All right. So if we do let's do enable. You see that we do have our AP that's registered here, right? Because we're basically on the controller code here. So we could change our name if we wanted to. We're not going to at the moment, but we could. If we wanted to change our AP name to something that showed that it's the survey AP, okay? So, to do that, we can go ahead and do name. Take our new name here. Our MAC address is what it is now. So AP name, this MAC address, we're going to do name, and then we could do survey AP. Or survey 9120 or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So now show AP sum. You see we've got a survey AP that's registered now. Okay. So that's one thing. So the next thing that we would want to do is define our channels and our transmit power. So to do that, we could just do AP name and .11 or AP survey AP or AP name survey AP. There we go. Okay. So .11 2.4 gigahertz. If we're going to configure 2.4 and do channel 1. And same thing, except this time we're going to do five gigahertz. And in our case, we'll do channel 36. Okay, so same thing with power, AP name, survey AP, okay, .11, and we're going to do 2.4 gigahertz, And we're going to do TX power. And let's see our options. We do not want it on auto. Okay. And then we've got 1 through 8 for dBm. So let's do 5. Okay. Well, 3 is what we ended up doing. All right. So the next thing is 5 gigahertz. Okay. And with 5 gigahertz, we're going to do TX power. And let's see the option there. And we'll do that at, let's see, 5. Okay. Show AP sum. And we see we've got our AP there registered. Now if we do show AP detailed, or is it environment? So let's do status. Let's flux connect. Let's do show AP down 11 gigahertz TX power. All right. So we've got our AP set now. Transmit power threshold -70. Transmit neighbor counts 3. This really isn't telling us what we're wanting though. We need show AP, survey AP, show AP name, survey AP, and let's see. What is it that we need here? Hang on. So after we have our survey AP configured here, we need to open up some type of tool we can use. And I've got WinFi on my machine to figure out if it's behaving like we want it to. I already know the answer in this case, but right here, we can see that, hey, we've got WT survey 5 and it's AX, it's on 36. The problem is it's a 40 megahertz wide channel at the moment, right? So we want to just kind of verify that it's set the way we want. So if we look at our 5 gigahertz summary, we can also verify that right there that, hey, it's 40 megahertz of bandwidth. We don't want that, okay? So we need to make a couple more configuration changes. What we need to do is we need to change the channel width. So we're going to do AP name survey AP, and then we're going to do our channel width. Let's see, AV name, survey AP dot 11 channel. Let's see, dot 11, 5 gigahertz channel width, and do 20. Okay, so then we run our other command here, and we see we're now down to 20 on the channel width. Okay, we can also verify that with our tool here. So we see we've got that up, and now we're seeing a 20 megahertz. Whoops! Now we're seeing a 20 megahertz channel width off that AP. So, and we can modify whatever we need to. So if it's about power or whatever it is, we may need to do that. So if you want to do an adjustment to say 14 dBm on power, then that's actually 4 in Cisco terms, right? So that's AP name, the name of the AP dot 11, and then we're going to go 5 gigahertz, and then we would do our TX power and then you can do whatever you want there, right? 4. So to see that, if we want to check out what it's really doing and see the power level and everything, then that show AP, show AP name survey AP, and then config.11, 5 gigahertz, 2.4, whatever it is, and it'll tell us what it's configured for, right? So you can see this is the only way to really see what the power level settings will match to on Cisco APs is right here. So we could see power level 1 is 22 dBm, power level 8 is 1 dBm, power level 4, 13 dBm on this particular AP. Now, this is, okay, yeah, 5 gigahertz. All right. So we don't want it to be auto for survey, right? We want it to be standardized, and we want it to be static power, all that kind of good stuff. So if we're surveying with 20 milliwatts, 10 milliwatts right here, level 5, 20 milliwatts would be 4, okay? 40 milliwatts would be level 3. It's that power math we got to remember, all right? On our 2.4, typically if we have that enabled, we're not doing it at the same level we are with 5 gigahertz. We want that to be much lower, okay? So if we're surveying, let's just say, and we're doing 20 milliwatts right here on our number 4 on our 5 gigahertz, we want to be less than that, probably 7, okay, on our 2.4. So again, that's just another configuration change. So that's AP. Get back here real quick. AP name, survey AP, and then our .11, 2.4, and then our TX power. And as we said, we wanted this one to be weaker. We wanted it to be, in our case, TX power level 6, right? So there we go. And again, we can verify that everything's exactly as it should be with the survey tool of some type. We're using WinFi real quick just to see that it's 20 megahertz, that the SSID is out there. And this is the configuration on our EWC setup now. So ready to put this on the AP on a stick and get to surveying. That's pretty much all there is to it. We're not going to be associated. We just need this guy to be broadcasting beacons at the same power level we know, the channel we know, and that way we can configure our survey tool to go and scan that channel. We'll set up Ekahau to basically scan for that channel 36 that we're using here and channel 1 that we're using here, if we're going to scan 2.4 or survey 2.4. So our EWC radio is set up. It's ready to go. And just go ahead and write this config, and then we'll be good to go. Actually, I'm not going to do that just yet. So, but we'll see you in the next lab, and we'll start our AP on a stick surveys.